During his visit to Vietnam, he was performing. Xi Jinping called on Vietnam to prevent foreign forces from causing trouble in the region. Both sides should be vigilant and oppose any attempt to disrupt the Asia-Pacific region, she said on Wednesday, in comments that could be seen as suggestive. Refers to America in a veiled way. China's most powerful leader since Mao Zedong also called on the two neighboring communist countries to strengthen coordination in international affairs. Both sides should be vigilant and oppose any attempt to disrupt the Asia-Pacific region, she said on Wednesday, in comments that could be seen as a pointed reference to the United States. Cover. China's most powerful leader since Mao Zedong also called on the two neighboring communist countries to strengthen coordination in international affairs. Vietnamese President Vo Van Thuong declared that relations have never been more comprehensive, profound and friendly, at the end of Mr. Xi's two-day state visit. Both sides described the visit as an important milestone in bilateral relations. Mr. Xi's trip took place just 3 months after U.S. President Joe Biden announced tremendous opportunities with Vietnam during his first trip to this Asian country. That trip yielded deals on everything from semiconductors to security, as part of a U.S. Indo-Pacific strategy to check China's influence in the region. China has dangled its own economic carrot. Beijing pledged to fund the cross-border railway, while both sides agreed on a 3-year plan to boost trade. The show of solidarity is the latest example of how Hanoi carefully balances its relationship with the world's largest economies. Vietnam is one of the countries that benefits the most from trade tensions between Beijing and Washington. As businesses transfer billions of dollars in investment from China to this manufacturing powerhouse to ensure supply chains, according to Joseph Liao Chin Yong, chair of Comparative and International Politics at Nanyang Technological University in Singapore, she should be satisfied with the outcome of the trip, signaling an improvement in relations. He added, but we should also remember that Vietnam itself is skillfully managing its relationship with the two powers for its own benefit. Share the future. If there are any lingering tensions from China's tense military history with Vietnam, the two countries fought a brief border war in 1979, they were not on display when Mr. arrived in Hanoi on Tuesday. The Chinese leader was greeted by 21 cannon shots and received at Hanoi by International Airport by Prime Minister Pham Minh Chinh and senior Communist Party officials. That contrasts with Deputy Secretary of State Biden's welcome. Chinese state media provided breathless coverage of Xi's trip to Vietnam to the domestic audience. People held banners at the airport when she arrived, which read Vietnam and China have a deep relationship like comrades and brothers, and China-Vietnam friendship will last forever. Xi's decision to visit Vietnam, his only trip to an Asian country this year, comes as China's neighbor is said to be drawing closer to the U.S. and its allies. Of this country. After upgrading relations with Washington to be on par with Beijing, last month Hanoi upgraded relations with Tokyo. However, Vietnamese leaders show that those enhanced ties do not prevent Hanoi from joining hands with Beijing and its allies. China and Vietnam agreed to build a community of shared future, a slogan that refers to the Chinese Communist Party's foreign policy vision that prioritizes helping Asian neighbors ensure their common development. According to a joint statement, the two countries with overlapping territorial claims in the East Sea also pledged to control their disagreements and avoid actions that could complicate the situation and expand the dispute. They will set up a hotline to handle unexpected incidents arising from fishing activities and have frank discussions on issues at sea to better resolve disagreements. Vietnam, like China, is struggling with a bumpy economic recovery after the pandemic, and has reason to keep Beijing on its side. Beijing is Hanoi's top trading partner, with bilateral trade reaching $205.6 billion last year. She said the agreements reached during his visit will lead to new chapters in China-Vietnam relations. This is the last trip of my overseas visit this year, she told President Xiang on Wednesday, according to Chinese state broadcaster CCTV. That fully demonstrates the special position of China-Vietnam relations in China's diplomatic layout. Our video will pause here. Please remember to subscribe to the channel to follow us. Goodbye.